The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 35. The Molten Man Regrets. Our somewhat sensational saga begins where so many of them end, in a cold, somber prison cell some months ago, where we find...
Okay, Raxton, look alive. Isner wants to see you, so let's go. Finally gonna sentence me, huh? Well, I'm not worried. They tell me he is usually soft on first offenders.
And it seems that the Molten Man has been told right.
Because you became what you are through an unfortunate accident, and you have offered to pay for the damages you've caused, I'm giving you a suspended sentence, Raxton.
Thanks, Your Honor. You won't be sorry.
Minutes later, one of the strongest foes Spider-Man has ever fought loses himself amongst the city's teeming millions once again.
Free at last. Lucky I was a model prisoner and acted repentant. Now it's up to me to make sure I stay free. No more jails for the Molten Man.
Later, in the privacy of his own apartment, Raxton peels off his outer clothes again to revel in his awesome power.
I'm as strong as ever. Maybe even stronger. Spider-Man beat me the first time we fought, for my power was new to me. I didn't realize how to handle it. But now, I've had time to think, to plan, to make sure that the Molten Man will never be beaten again. I won't make the mistake of running wild a second time, using nothing but my power. This time I've figured all the angles. First, I'll lay low for a while, and then I'll strike.
Thus, through the magic of our imagination, we now bridge the gap of time. Many days later, an exclusive Madison Avenue jewelry shop receives a distinguished-looking patron.
No. Those gems are all too ordinary, too pedestrian. Have you nothing more exotic? More expensive?
Why, yes, sir, we do. I'll be delighted to show them to you.
Remember, money is of no concern to me. I will only consider your very finest jewels.
I wish I had a dozen more customers like him. I could retire in a week. I'll have them for you in a moment, sir, as soon as I open the safe.
I'm sure these are what I want. Don't even bother to show them to me. I'll take them all.
But I don't understand. Wait, you can't. Ugh. So, you're nothing but a crook. Well, you may have fooled me at first, but you won't get away with it.
If you think that toy will stop me, you're in for a very rude surprise.
Raise your hands. I warn you. Stay back. You should have listened to, what? A bulletproof vest. That has to be the answer.
So, you think it's a vest, do you? Can a vest do this?
You crushed the gun like an eggshell.
But, as a sagacious fate would have it, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is blithely romping across the rooftops directly above at that very moment, which is as lucky for us as for the merchant below.
That was a shot from the jewelry store beneath me. It must mean trouble, because it's a heck of a place for a skeet shooting setup. Okay, Beaver, stay where you are till I learn what's going on here. Spider-Man, don't hit me. I'm no match for you. I give up. Good deal. That'll save us both a lot of trouble.
He tried to rob me.
I sort of guessed that. You didn't guess that I merely wanted you to relax your guard. And you did. Now it's my turn. Didn't expect a reception like this, did you? I mustn't let up. I've got to keep him off balance. Keep him on the receiving end. What's holding you up? You should have been out cold by now.
Help! Help! Please, help!
Blast it! I forgot about that screeching salesman.
Stop him! Somebody! He's getting away!
Cops will be here soon. I've got to scram.
Look out! Watch it! You're in my way.
Then, by the time Spidey can reach the door,
It figured. He's gone. But he's too strong. Too dangerous to run free. Maybe if I reach the roof in time, I can spot him from up there.
but, as usual, Spidey's luck runs true to form. All bad.
Looks like I lost him. Now to make sure he doesn't pick up the trail again.
Minutes later, the big spender reaches his decrepit digs.
There. Once I destroy this disguise, there'll be nothing to link the Molten Man with that escaped gem thief. The only thing wrong is, I escaped empty-handed. In the excitement, I left the loot behind. So Spider-Man fouled me up once more. But it won't happen again. 'Cause if it does, I'll finish him off for good.
While, in a different neighborhood, we find our fabulous, frustrated friend.
No sign of him anywhere. Whoever he was, he gave me the slip this time.
Then, returning to his normal identity of Peter Parker, the youth reads a front-page account of what has just transpired.
According to the jewelry store clerk's sworn statement, that would-be robber crushed a revolver in his bare hand. And I believe it. The way he whopped me. He's more than an ordinary everyday crook. But how much more? That's what I've got to find out. There was something disturbingly familiar about him. If only I could put my finger on it. He could have easily been wearing a disguise, so he might have been almost anybody. Perhaps even some former enemy of mine. Boy, he sure packed a punch like iron. Iron's a metal, and his punch felt like metal. It's a long shot, but it could be the Molten Man. I'd bet on it.
Within seconds, the amazing web-slinging adventurer is back on the prowl again as he heads for a seedy rooming house near the waterfront.
If I remember rightly, this is where Molty lived the last time we fought. Nothing's changed much. No reason to think he moved anywhere else. He probably still lives here. The place is empty now, but that doesn't mean anything. No harm in waiting around for a while and seeing what happens.
Then, before too very long,
A light just went on. He's back. I was right. He's living here again. But I still have no proof that Raxton is the man I'm after.
a half hour later,
He's gone to bed. This is my chance. I'll just stick one of my little spider tracers behind the lapel of his jacket. There. That's that. Now it'll be a cinch for me to keep tabs on him, no matter what.
and as the days slowly pass,
There's the signal. That means he's on the move now. False alarm. He's just walking around. He seems about as menacing as a Tootsie Roll.
and so it goes, day after day, until...
The signal again. It's probably a waste of time, but I can't afford to take any chances. If this is another false lead, I'll have to forget the whole thing. I can't keep neglecting my studies this way much longer. I wonder how many other superheroes are as worried about passing their exams as about belting the bad guys. There he is now. But why is he walking along a lonely back alley that way? Well, I guess I'll find out soon enough. What goes in has to come out, and I'm waiting here until he does. I have a hunch I'll be getting some answers pretty soon.
Then, finally,
How about that? He's disguised himself again. Whatever he's up to, it's got to be something crooked, or he wouldn't need a disguise. So this time, I'm not letting him out of my sight. He's cutting through the alley right behind the jewelry shop he tried to rob before. He must figure no one would expect him to try the same place a second time. There, that takes care of the burglar alarm. Now, the rest will be a snap. The lock hasn't been built that can keep me out.
while a short distance away,
I wonder what he'd say if he knew I'm photographing his whole routine. So far, so good. Now, all I've got to do is get that safe open, and the job is done. And for me, that won't be as hard as it sounds. Being metallic itself, my skin is sensitive to the sound of the other metal within the lock tumblers. It'll take only a few more seconds to detect the proper combination. Ah, I'm getting it now. You sure are. Spider-Man. Shucks, I hoped you'd think I was Yogi Berra. That's a mighty shabby suit you're wearing, mister. It might look better if I cover it up with some wash-and-wear webbing. You won't get me with that blasted stickum this time. My suit was specially designed so I could shed it in seconds, in case I ran into you. There, I got out of it before your webbing could completely dry. So your best weapon is totally useless. It can't stick to my slippery molten body. Too bad. It would have been a pleasure to shut your slippery molten mouth for you.
and now, we promised Artie Simic we'd let him go wild with the sound effects for a page or two, so here goes.
Huh, I proved I could take the best you can dish out. And now, from here on in, I'm gonna be calling the tune. Here? First, using the metallic power of my molten body, I'll crush all the fight out of you with an unbreakable bear hug. You're just whistling in the dark, Molty. You can't beat me that way. No bear hug can stop my webbing from zipping up to the ceiling and sticking there. What good'll that do you? I was hoping you'd ask. You're bluffing. Think so? Just watch.
Moving with dazzling speed, the amazing Spider-Man does a sudden, breathtaking acrobatic flip over, and then...
Can't hold on. Falling. Have to let go. Hope you're paying attention, Molty. You'll be the envy of the prison gym when you demonstrate this little stunt to your fellow inmates. And now, just hold that pose, mister. Boy, you'll try anything when you're desperate, huh? But a few wild kicks aren't gonna stop me now, you golden goon.
But his random kick does help the Molten Man, for it causes Spidey to cover his face in order to shield himself from flying glass. And in that brief interval, the metallic menace manages to gain the initiative again, albeit temporarily.
Get back! Back! Phew! You've got a convincing way of asking a fella, Molty. That shattered window is sure to bring the police. I've got to vanish before they arrive. Just what I needed. A chance to escape. Without nabbing me, no one can prove I was involved in these attempted robberies. He's gone again. But this time, he won't get away from me. Not while I know where he's sure to be heading. I'll just get there via the Skyway. There's less traffic up there.
And as for the Molten man,
Made it! And I didn't see that blasted web spinner following me, so I'm safe again. Now I'll figure out a way to strike back at him when he least expects it. You'd better figure fast, chum, because I don't intend to hang around here waiting for you much longer. You? No, it isn't possible. It isn't? This is a fine time to tell me. And now, let's see, where did we leave off? Right here, with me making sure that you'll never interfere with my plans again. Ugh, I deserve this for being so careless. I never expected him to attack so fast. Once I've beaten you, there'll be nobody left to stop me. Don't kid yourself. There's always Irving Forbush. Who's he? Forget it. It's an in-joke. Okay, time's up. If you want to use me for a punching bag any longer, you'll have to pay union rates. And now, here's something I had made specially for you. I don't want to be unprepared if I learn it's your birthday. In case you're wondering, it's the better to tie you up with Red Riding Hood. It'll be easier than skinning my knuckles all day on your thick head. Oh no, wise guy. I'm not gonna be as easy to trap as I was last time we fought. I'm a lot smarter, and stronger, and tougher than I used to be. Sure, and you probably have 23% fewer cavities too. So what? Whoop, nice try. But that little punch is gonna be your last mistake, Molty. And that kick was dirty pool, if you ask me. Keep talking, creep. As soon as I land one more punch, you won't be able to ever again. Now just stay where you are, webhead. This is the payoff. You're so right, Big Mouth. Especially since I've got both your hands now. Bah. What does that mean? Just keep holding on, you masked nitwit. Once I swing my arms around, you're going for a ride you'll never forget. I expected that, hamhead, but I've got news for you. You're going too, so long as I hold on to your little golden footsie here. Ugh. And now, for the coup de grace. When you get to the prison library, you can borrow a dictionary and look that up, little man. Alright, so you've got me hogtied. So what? You can't prove I was involved in any robberies. It'll just be your word against mine. I'll be as free as the breeze later on, free to pay you back for this, in spades. Boy, are you about to learn the facts of life.
minutes later, a scene which occurred a few months ago is repeated anew, to the extreme discomfiture of a man named Raxton.
Looks like this is getting to be a habit with you, fella. Get me out of here! You've nothing on me!
According to this note from Spider-Man, if we hold you for a little while, he'll bring us proof that you were involved in some robbery attempts. Well, I guess we can stand your company for a while, if you'll put up with ours. Get him down from there. We'll hold him on suspicion of robbery for as long as we can.
Hold it now. Even though the action's over, we want you to stick around for the wrap-up. It won't take long.
For once, everything worked out perfectly. I had my camera all set up and snapped everything I need. Wow, I can hear Raxton bellowing to beat the band from way out here. You can't do this to me. I know my rights. You can't keep me here. I didn't do anything. I'm as innocent as a newborn baby.
We're glad to hear that, Raxton. Want us to fetch your formula for you? Anyway, if you go charging out of here, you'll probably just get tied up by Spider-Man again. You're better off where you are.
You tell him, Sarge.
My ears were burning. Someone mentioned my name?
These pictures should give you all the evidence you need to hold the Molten Man until he tarnishes. Spider-Man, you kept your word. Let me see what's in that envelope. I don't believe it.
Sure, take a look. Believe it now, Mr. Raxton?
Shots of me changing disguise, breaking into the shop, everything. How?
Bring your notebook, Lou. We've got a confession coming up.
But enough of such sordid goings-on. Let us now change our scene. It's a short time later, as we visit the Daily Bugle with a pensive Peter Parker.
It shouldn't be hard to sell my remaining photos of the Molten Man to Jolly Jonah now. Funny, I'm sort of nervous about facing Betty. Hello, Betty. Is JJ and his off... What? You're not Betty.
Oh, you must be Peter Parker, the young photographer I heard about.
Yes, I guess that's right. But where's Betty? Is she on vacation?
No, she doesn't work here anymore.
What? She's gone?
But she left something with me. I was asked to give it to you when I saw you.
My photo. Is this all?
Why, yes. I'm afraid so.
What about Ned Leeds? Did he leave too?
I believe he did go to the West Coast. Actually, I'm still new here. I'm not sure of everybody's whereabouts.
He's been wanting to marry her. And now, they're both gone. It must mean that what's wrong with me? What do I care? Here, I brought these photos for Jameson. He can have them.
But what about your check?
He knows my address. Let him mail it.
Wait, your picture. You forgot it.
My picture? To Betty. Forever, Peter. Forever? I wonder when I wrote that. Must have been a lifetime ago.
The end. Next issue, a swingin' supervillain so different, so new, we can't even tell you his name yet. Enough said.
Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes Spider-Man.